fire, 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 fire. People watch another Nasu video just because I think he's really funny. How did someone give birth to a 60-ton tank?
Right now, Netflix is actively working on a live-action Yu Yu Hakusho series.
That's okay. You can keep it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Animation is dope. The medium has given us some of the most creative and compelling pieces of art that could not exist in any other medium. For some time now, Japan has been at the forefront of the industry, producing some of the best works, along with some...
The One Piece live action looks decent for a change. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I find it, some of the animations on the people look very, very I don't know, I wouldn't say uncharacteristic, but kind of strange in real life.
Ones. And anime has only gotten more popular in recent years. I've been watching it for basically my whole life. Some may call me a weeb. I prefer anime enjoyer, but an
Anime enjoyer Giga Chad. You don't even have a backside? What do you mean? I do. I'm looking at it right now. Fuck you, bitch.
You know what's never happened? When I'm watching an angsty teenage boy dual-wielding box cutters and using his gas-propelled grappling hooks to charge towards a naked man-eating giant, the last question on my mind is, hey, I wonder what this would look like in live action. But I was still blessed with an answer. And that answer was...
fucking awful, man.
In live action. But I was still blessed with an answer. And that answer...
doesn't hit the same, man. No, live action's not for me either, Crimnox. I'm gonna be honest. This looks this is painful to look at. That doesn't even look like close to the design.
Answer was... Back in 2020, the year that keeps on giving, Netflix announced that a live-action Yu Yu Hakusho series was in the works. I didn't think much of it, but I honestly should have known better than to call Netflix on their bluff, because they fully intended to deliver. And just a couple weeks ago, Netflix revealed the main cast for the the images sent me into a Winter Soldier episode where I was forced to relive past war crimes against animation.
Is this gonna be Airbender? I never even once watched the live action Airbender shit. Are they fucking bending a little rock? What is that?
Animation being adapted to live action is nothing new. It's been happening for decades, and the incentive is pretty obvious. Creating something from scratch is generally more difficult than remaking or iterating on an existing property. The same goes for sequels and reboots. Existing IPs already have established worlds, characters, and magic systems, but most importantly, a built-in audience. The sudden influx of superfluous Star Wars and Marvel content is no coincidence.
This is the same thing that games suffer from as well, to be honest with you. I can't handle this shit. Like, why can't you just cut it original?
I mean, that Disney Plus library ain't gonna fill itself up. Their most popular franchises and classic films are prime candidates for milking. Hollywood as a whole has set the precedent that nothing is sacred. Anything and everything will get additional content that nobody asked for. And in the past decade, they've really set their sights on Japanese animation. With shows like Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer propelling anime into the mainstream, millions of new viewers are gonna go looking for more anime. And it's a no-brainer for media companies to try and capitalize on that. Anime has grown beyond just being on Crunchyroll, and major streaming services...
Remember when we used to be bullied for looking at anime and shit? DBZ live action flashbacks? Dude, that shit was heinous. Oh my god, dude. 10 years ago. Wait, when did it come out? Oh my god. I don't know if I could show this on stream. It's probably copyrighted. 2009. Please stop. Okay, I'll stop. I just can't believe this shit came out, by the way. 2009. You can close it now. Okay, I will stop you from torturing yourself by looking at the screen. Saw that in theaters opening day. Whoa, how did you survive that?
Just want a piece of that pie. Hulu cutting a deal with Funimation to stream shows that they license. Netflix buying exclusive streaming rights to Evangelion for a rumored $3 million. Even Amazon tried to step in with Anime Strike. Y'all remember that shit? Rest in peace.
What
But
the fuck
Netflix
is
in
that?
particular had another idea
Drugs?
on how to capitalize on the anime craze.
Relax, like
Fair enough.
you're asleep. You're asleep and you're dreaming of some.
You're dreaming of some fucked up shit like Dragon Ball Z live action.
8-foot tall, demon looking motherfucker.
Oh, yes.
Live action adaptations are something that have been tried.
Oh, there
and
it is
failed
again.
Again and again and again.
God, the Bleach one was so bad. I remember
Something that
like
have been
glancing at
tried
it
and
again.
failed again and again.
It just doesn't hit the same, man. I don't understand why they keep doing it.
And again. So why is it that these films and shows are so consistently bad? Are the people behind them just so horribly incompetent and they would actually work with a better cast and crew? While sometimes the case, I honestly think the reason is far simpler than that. Live action anime adaptations just don't work. One of the primary factors that make the best animated films so great is the fact that they're animated. Just like how certain scripts are better suited for the stage rather than the screen, some stories just lend themselves to the medium of animation. In 1981, two Disney animators introduced the 12 basic principles of animation, which are still used to this day. Of these 12 principles, there are two that I want to highlight: squash and stretch, and exaggeration. Squash and stretch is when
Yeah, you can't make people. That's what I mean with the whole One Piece trailer as well. They made it look realistic, but you can't translate squash and stretch into real media format. You just can't do that.
an object or even a character's features are elongated or compressed to emphasize speed, momentum, and weight. Exaggeration is when an expression or action is taken to the absolute limit to really.
God, Redline was so good. This movie was so underrated. It was just so well animated and it showed. It cost like millions
Tell
of
you what,
dollars.
these two principles are why you get freeze frames like this, this, and this. When people isolate
It's awesome.
kinds of shots, then run off and go LMAO XD, his neck is literally broken, trash animation, L plus ratio, young boy better, they're kinda missing the point. Animation isn't meant to be viewed frame by frame, and these impossibly
they're not.
distorted in-betweens exist as just a single part of an entire motion. When played back in full, the scene has a sense of speed and fluidity that would be lost with more realistic movement. Prioritizing conveying the feeling and impact.
You can't just translate something like One Piece into real life. It'll look goofy. It's cold.
Prioritizing conveying the feeling and impact of a scene over adhering to realism works in animation because that in itself makes the scene feel more realistic. Anime fight scenes aren't bound to the same rules as real
Yep.
life, and when they try to choreograph a fight straight to live action, it just ends up looking like
Ven y trata de golpearme si es que puedes. La clemencia es una opción que tú no tienes. Veo que te estás cansando de
Yo,
intentarlo, pero tú
this is the goofy one. The uncanny one is gonna be the Netflix. This looks goofy. At least it's
solo
kind of
sigues
funny.
fallando. Nunca ganarás, estaremos juntos, luchando hasta el final de los tiempos. Y cuando te derrote,
This is amazing. I love this.
esperaré una vez más. Estás hecho de
yo, wait a minute, this shit is kind of fire. Anime characters.
Yeah, it is
can move
fire,
like
it's
rubber.
good.
So you can imagine a story about a boy who was literally made of rubber is better suited to be adapted to animation and
That's what I'm saying. How could they fucking put in like something like that? We don't live in a time where it just looks good. It's the animation. It looks goofy. It's supposed to
not
look goofy.
real life. Meanwhile, a series of fantasy novels with a heavy focus on politics and a bit of soft magic, lends itself to being adapted into a live-action drama series. Different stories,
At least up
different
until a certain
mediums.
point.
Spider-Man
Smile.
Into the Spider-Verse's low frame rate animation and line work meant to emulate the style of comic books is only possible because it's animated. On the topic of comic books, because I know somebody's going to bring it up, what about comic book movies? Look at the MCU. They can successfully adapt comics to the big screen, so why not anime? To which I say, American comics function very differently from manga, and as such, so do their adaptations. Manga tends to be created from the vision of a single author, who's usually also the artist. While they don't always start with an end in sight, they do eventually end.
I also think that personally, at least to me, if you adapt a manga, you have to keep it true to the quote-unquote style of the manga, because that's what it's identifying to people's eyes. And when you separate the two and you just like cast people as normal people, you can't like have like this face like as a person. It's impossible. You don't look like that in real life. Your eyes aren't this big, your nose isn't this long, your lips aren't that big, your chin isn't that pointy. It's like it's untranslatable. Like, I don't know.
Most of the time.
It's
Marvel
stupid.
and DC Comics, however, feature characters made decades ago that are regularly reimagined by different writers and artists, each with their own interpretations of the characters. Although they tend to have consistent narrative frames, they're not bound to any single continuity. What is and is not canon depends entirely on which universe you're talking about. To the vast majority of people, comic book characters are just pop culture icons. You don't have to have ever picked up a single comic book to be familiar with Spider-Man's origin story. Shit, I knew a girl in high school who looked me dead in the eyes and asked me what's the difference between Marvel and DC.
I mean, some people just don't know. To be fair, I have no issue with the casting so far with the One Piece adaptation. I think they're taking what Oda once said about the characters in real life. I just think that adapting that kind of stuff, you can't keep the style of the manga. Like, I don't know. It's hard to describe and put into words. I don't have the ability to do that at this point, but it's not identifiable to me in the human realm of like how people are perceived. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Both are superhero? Yeah, I mean, that's one way to put it. Multiple variations of comic characters is what makes me stick to manga. I mean, that's just like your thing, and that's your opinion and prerogative, and that's perfectly fine. That's the reason there's like hundreds of millions of like comic book fans. Homie draws women as two circles with an hourglass that he cast for that. What's not about that, as I said before, with the whole where's the still frame of the JoJo, like, you identify this as JoJo because it is in that art style. How the fuck are you gonna be able to differentiate that at a glance, knowing that that's supposed to be like fucking the character in the movie if you don't have the identifier of the art style? You're just going off it based on like it's a real life adaptation, in my opinion. So, but that's just me. A DBZ where Toriyama is done with it, you won't see another manga artist later reimagine the story and use Goku Gohan in new stories. Meanwhile, you have several different versions of Spider-Man. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I think that's just a cultural thing. The JoJo's art style is so recognizable that if you just take a JoJo face and paste it over an anime person, even a VTuber, it will be a JoJo character. Yeah.
Ever picked up a single comic book to be familiar with Spider-Man's origin story? Shit,
It's the identifier in my head anyway. I don't know.
Ask me what's the difference between Marvel and DC while wearing a Superman crop top.
That's but Tio's facing a lot of... I would get in trouble for that, no joke. I could get into copyright trouble. Funnily enough.
Comic characters differ from a character like, say, Naruto, who despite having no shortage of non-canon material, is still closely tied to a single continuous narrative. An industry built around continuously reimagining characters unsurprisingly works as material to be reimagined into live action. Also, The MCU still has to make major changes to make the characters transition smoothly, and this is very evident in the costume design. Superheroes wear some goofy ass shit, and episode 6 of WandaVision demonstrates just how weird it would look if the costumes were taken one for one from the comics.
That's really funny, yeah. Look at that. Ugly as hell. This is probably from like the 70s, I think.
Character designs have to be altered and subdued, or the audience's suspension of disbelief goes out the window. They have to convince us that in the context of this world, people willingly dress like this. This concept seems to be something foreign to live-action anime, as the costumes usually come out looking like mediocre cosplay. Anime designs can get pretty outlandish, and any attempt to faithfully recreate them in real life results in a cast of colorful clowns. Regardless of how good any given actor is,
Yo, is there a Yu-Gi-Oh live action where they have Yugi? Wait, is there a Yu-Gi-Oh live action? No. No. No! Imagine this motherfucker walking around. Imagine him walking around with this fucking doodad on his head. This is so bad. Like, you can't adapt it, you know? Just stop.
on screen rocking that Yugi Moto hairstyle.
He just fucking, damn it, he said it. He basically said it. Not pre-watched, by the way.
Like, man, look at this guy. His hat is literally blending into his hair. But anime characters aren't just exaggerated in their appearance and movements, but also their personalities. Eccentric, over-the-top characters are a staple of anime that can only really exist within the medium. It's incredibly jarring when you see a live-action actor trying to embody the same. You know what? Let me just show you.
Yes, you are. You're spy, cowboy, bounty hunter for hire. Wake up! I have a job for you. We have to find Villaggio before he does spooky bad things.
For the more fantastic.
And it's not even the actor's fault. It's not even the actor's fault because they're trying to adapt the character to be something out of the manga anime. Like, it's crazy bad. He's got a point. You can't adapt that kind of shit into real life. You just die of cringe, like right now.
Aspects of anime that can't be done in real life. They're made with CGI, which, if you weren't aware, is also a form of animation. So if you have to already rely so heavily on animation, why not go all the way and just let something be 100% animated? Look at the 2019 live action Lion King, an adaptation of an animated musical drama that doesn't feature a single human character. Elon Musk has yet to make good on his promise to make
Fox girls, chat, vote now, we're losing, we're gonna lose. Dino girls, horse girls, fox girls. Come on, let's go. Elon's gonna make a lot of real. Yes, please, make me real.
We don't quite have singing and dancing animals just yet. As a
Not
result,
yet.
3D animation has to carry this film. Aside from the opening scene of a sunrise, the movie was entirely made using CGI. Modern visual entertainment has this obsession with hyperrealism, even though it doesn't always work to the product's benefit.
Not yet.
Lion King's original 2D animation allowed the characters to be extremely expressive and, well, animated. When I see these realistic lions flapping their gums, it doesn't look to me like they're singing. It just feels like I'm watching a wildlife documentary with Beyonce singing the background music. Seeing true-to-life animals acting like humans looks hella jarring and lands right in the uncanny valley because animals don't do that. When you see Wile E. Coyote pull a 200-pound anvil out of his foreskin, chase a roadrunner and mock.
Why does my man have to be so descriptive? Holy crap.
Walk it off like a minor inconvenience, you're not taken out of it. Given the absurd nature of the cartoon, it's what you've come to expect. The in-universe rules, when you're dealing with hyper-realism, you expect things to behave.
Can you see this? Let me see. Chat, this is horrifying. Like, granted, I know that Titans are supposed to be scary looking, but this is actually terrifying. Like, look at this little guy. Oh my god, man. That's something straight out of a horror movie. Fucking terrifying.
behave realistically.
Make it
And if it
stop.
doesn't, it just looks disturbing. Some things just fundamentally cannot work in live action, but that doesn't mean that anime has no place in live action filmmaking. It's led to some of Hollywood's greatest movies, not through adaptation, but inspiration. The Matrix film series borrows heavily from Ghost in the Shell. Its themes, atmosphere, and aesthetic are all incredibly reminiscent of the 1995 film, yet The Matrix still remains distinct.
Because they made something original. You can be inspired by something and make it like be, you know, make it enjoyable to consume.
Christopher Nolan's Inception draws from Satoshi Kon's Paprika. Another Kon film, Perfect Blue, inspired Darren Aronofsky's Black Swan and Requiem for a Dream. Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim pays homage to kaiju and mecha anime like Evangelion. All of these films make for better live-action anime.
Pacific
than
Rim was
any direct
awesome, actually.
adaptation. If you want a movie that more closely adheres to the source material, there's Edge of Tomorrow, which adapts the Japanese light novel All You Need Is Kill. Instead of adapting anime, an audio-visual medium, into another audio-visual medium, adapting a book inherently adds something new to the story. Since the novel didn't already have an anime, the studio was free to change up elements that wouldn't work in live action without any backlash. Good luck trying to make Zoro without bright green
watched
hair
this, so.
and not getting death threats from fans. Or good luck trying to give Zoro bright green hair without it looking completely ridiculous. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Making live action anime will always be a losing battle because you can never please everybody.
Oh, I can't watch this.
The original anime will always be there, so another version of the story that removes it from the context of the art form it was designed for has a 1 in 1 chance of being worse. Cause like the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fucking touch it, Netflix. I rest my case. See y'all in the next
Fuck
one.
Netflix. Bebop was so bad. I know, man. It's such a disgrace when you look at side by side. When you look just side by side with like the freaking the live action guy. Where is it? It's like right here, right? Yeah, I don't know. Again, nothing against the actors themselves. It's just like, I don't know, cringe. The fuck happened there? Bad choreography. Trigun live action too. Dude, I had so many people telling me that the Trigun live action. Hold on, let's fucking link this guy's freaking video as well again. Mr. Nasu. It's just so. How could they put such a. Wait, not this one. This isn't the live action one. This is an adaptation. It's just not as good as the original. I thought they made a live action for some reason. They remade it this year, yes? Yeah. The creator of Bebop saw the opening scene of Netflix Abomination for 5 seconds, was like, nope. Really? No. This is a fan-made. This is a fan-made trailer. It's just a bunch of cosplayers, which is like cool and stuff. They did it for fun. It is what it is. Gaming isn't fun anymore. Holy crap.